Shout out to Steve Trang. Jump on the Steve Trang. We real estate disruptors.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Real Estate Disruptors and Blockchain Whales. Today, we've got Khang Lee, King Kong himself with Wholesale to Millions and the Millionaire Club. And Khang flew in from Seattle to talk about going from selling hair extensions at a kiosk to real estate to NFTs. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm Steve Trang, sales trainer, and every month, we help hundreds of people buy more houses at deeper margins. If you want more information about that, DM me the word sales on Instagram. And I am on a mission to create 100 millionaires. The information on this podcast alone is enough to help you become a millionaire. If you'll take consistent action, you will become one. And the show is brought to you by the Whale Club, my newest venture with Paul Sparks. And if you get value today, please tag a friend below. Share this episode right now. That way we can all grow together. And this show is live. So ask your questions for Khang to answer. You ready?
Let's rock and roll, baby.
All right, so we're going to do this in two different parts.
Okay.
So let's start with real estate.
Okay.
So what got you into real estate?
Cool. Yeah, so this got to go back in when I was 27. So as Steve has mentioned, you know, our first business that got us kind of like a business owner, entrepreneur, was selling hair extension, like a little kiosk in the mall, for those of you who know. And about 26 or so, the mall, Canadian dollars just drop. And we figured, dude, we're not bringing any more income into this business. And the mall always threatened us that, you know, they're going to shut us down because they got someone else that's going to come in that's going to pay higher rent for the space, and they're going to open to multiple location. And the wife was like, Khang, we need a plan B. So first off, I want to let you guys know that I wasn't the one that said, hey, let's get into real estate. It was the wife. And yeah, so we drove by Barnes & Noble one night, and I remember her telling me, hey, let's pull in. And she walked down the aisle and found a book called How Come That Idiot Is Rich and I'm Not. And
That's the book?
That's the book.
It's a good name. It's a good name for a book.
Yeah, dude.
No, your attention,
bro. Because we look at it and we're like, damn, dude. So we're the two idiots here that want to get rich. So let's go. Yeah. So she checked out that book, went home, read it about it. I went on YouTube, consume all the guy's content, paid $7,000.
Who was the guy?
Robert Sheeman, dude.
Robert Sheeman. Okay.
Killer speaker. Super good speaker, great speaker, very entertaining, and also
Is that Fitzgerald's buddy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
And paid $7,000 or so. Go 3-day seminars. They kind of teach us, you know, about calling people on Craigslist and all that, and that's kind of how it got started. But it took me about 6 months or so to actually find my first deal, and I ended up having to hire a mentor because I went through the seminars, watched all the videos, and all of that. For me, I know myself that I need a hands-on coaching mentorship. That's kind of how I.
When was this?
Dude, this back when I was 27. So 2012, 2013, 38 now. So.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can relate to that. I think that, you know, something that people tend to overlook. They're willing to spend money on the Gucci bags or like the, you know, their car payment to look fancy. But I think that one of the best investments I've ever made, and I've invested over 6 figures in mentors, but like that really changes things for you, especially when you have those calls, when you have that hands-on experience. Yep. When, if nothing else, it will distill the information and really change your concepts and your belief system around like, oh wow, they did it, I can do it too. So
yeah, that's awesome. So you reached out, so you talked to Robert.
Yep.
You attended this event, and then you said, I need a mentor.
I actually met Mike Fitzgerald at the seminars.
Okay.
So,
was he getting coached there, or he was just hanging out?
No, so he actually came as a guest speaker.
Okay.
So you know how Fitz is. So he walks into the room. He's like, dude, I can help you find a deal in 15 minutes. I was like, dude, what? So he went over there, look at our computer, whatever we were doing. And then he said, hey, this deal, call the seller up. So anyways, the wife said, Khang, we need to get this guy to mentor us. I said, Lon, dude, like, who are we? This guy's a multimillionaire. He's not going to even pay attention or want to talk to me. But she said, Khang, if you don't get that guy to mentor us, dude, you're not leaving Florida. I'm going home, but you're not leaving, bro. I said, oh, shit, this is going down. So anyways, during break time, man, I went out there and I sucked it up. I was so nervous, Steve. And I think it all comes down to his self-worth. And I just don't felt like I value, like, I felt like I have nothing, right? I'm like, dude, this nobody. And that's why I was so nervous. So anyways, I suck it up and it's like, shoot, man. I walk up to him and I said, bro, listen, dude, I'm sick and tired of trying to learn this all myself, bro. Like, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to see the next 6 months of my life to be like the last. Like, I don't want 6 months to go by and still trying to figure this thing out. Like, I know I can always make the money back, and I know this is going to cost me a lot of dough, but dude, I'm ready to go. And I said, Fitz, how much is going to cost you, bro? And he said, so he turned me off, right, Steve? He's like, no, I can't. And I said, dude, give me a price because I can't go home. That's what I said. I said I can't go home. And anyways, you know how he negotiates. And at that time, I know nothing about negotiating. So this guy pretty much got me to give him a price. But anyways, we agree on a price, 25 G's, flew him out for 3 days. He kind of circled the neighborhood, tell me exactly what to look for, tell me how to talk, negotiates with the realtors, got me into the bank, sat down with the bank. And that's when we talked to Rick, he's the vice president of the bank. So for those of you, if you want to start like building up your relationship with bank, like I used to think, dude, like I gotta go to like Bank of America, like the big bank, right? That they got a lot of money to loan. But no, dude, you gotta build relationship with your local bank. They'll take care of you because you're not another person, right? Like walks into the branch. You're somebody.
Right.
So we went in, we chat with the bank, dude. But I guess it's also good timing for us, bro. It's because the bank just recently opened up. They need client. So we go to a couple of bank and they said, no. This is when the market was just kind of like dry and lender was extremely hard for them to loan. And I go in and saying, hey, I want to flip houses. Never done it before. So they were very scared. So anyways, this guy, Rick Cornelius, man, he's a vice president of the bank. New bank just opened up and we sat down, show him our performa. My house is almost paid off. So we kind of use that do a collateral on and things like that. But we're able to build a relationship with him.
So, just real quick, if you need more money, my bank's actually having the grand opening this coming Wednesday.
Oh,
So
there
if you
you
want to
go.
fly back, right, we got that.
Okay.
You said that you're terrible at negotiations, and you and I, we've gone back a little bit. So
Yeah.
I don't believe that because you're Asian. So really, you're a bad negotiator?
You know, Steve.
Or were you just really desperate at that time?
You know what? I think it's both. I think it's desperate, and I wasn't the negotiator like I am today.
Yeah.
What was the feeling like? So was that when you spent that money, when you guys agreed on that, by the way,
Yep.
was that the most money that you'd spent up to date on a mentor?
No.
Okay.
The whole mentorship journey cost me over 100 G's.
No, but I'm saying like at that conversation,
Yep.
that was the first time
Yeah.
you were like,
so,
wow, okay.
so that's like a deposit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the 25 G's is deposit, but over time we split 3 deals, so it cost me over 100 G's. But I was very nervous.
Okay. Yeah.
I was very nervous to pull the trigger, but the reason why I pulled the trigger is for one reason. I said I do not want to see my life like 6 months from now just trying to figure this thing out. Like I'm tired of it. Like I'm done.
Nothing changes. Nothing changes.
Like to me, like I say, okay, you know what? If I'm out 25 G's, if I just get one deal, right? Just one deal, I'll make my money back. But then now I'm in the game. Like I won't need them anymore.
Yep.
So that's like my mentality, dude. I'll pay for it. I'll suck all the information. Then I will never need them anymore.
So you're talking about you're struggling
Yeah.
with the kiosk.
Yes.
How did you come up, right? Because a lot of people, they're struggling and like,
Yep.
how am I going to pay for this?
Yep.
How did you pay the $7,000 to attend a live event?
Yep.
Plus another 25 to someone you just met.
Steve, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, mostly Asian, we're very frugal. So Lon and I are very frugal. So we budget ourselves no matter how much we make. We only spend 10%, 10 to 20% of what we make.
Yeah.
So when we were making a couple hundred G's selling hair extensions, I know it sounds unbelievable, but dude, these hair extensions sell like pancakes to Canadian.
Yeah, they're good. It's good business. Man.
Yes, dude. Because so in Seattle they also have hair extension kiosks, but they would sell it for way more. So where we live, we're only about 30 minutes to the Canadian border. We would buy these hair extension, bro, for like $5 to $20, and we're selling out for like $50 to $250.
Yeah.
And in Canada, they're $300.
Yeah.
And at the time, the Canadian dollar was really good. It was almost at par with the US dollar. So they were pouring down. So, dude, Lana and I were making like $250,000, and we're still living in a shed behind a mobile home park. So Steve asked me, so how did we get all this money to actually get in? It's because from all the saving.
It's like crypto money, dude. You're going from $5 and selling $300. That's like
Yeah, no, it works. It
you were in
works.
it before. You were in it before you were in it, man.
Yeah.
So Fitzy tells you buy these deals, and
Yep.
you just did everything he told you to do. And by the way, for you guys who don't know, Michael Fitzgerald, he's on a previous episode, fellow member of Collective Genius.
Yeah, he's a
And
killer.
man, the guy is an incredible connector. I mean, he just hangs out with NFL athletes like no big deal, right? Just gets free money from the government. It's unbelievable. So anyway, you just follow him like blind, or like how was that journey getting mentored?
Correct. It wasn't blind. Like, people don't understand. Like, people think, hey, when I get a coach or a mentor, like, dude, everything will fall in place for me. Like, they'll tell me exactly what to do. No, my friend, you have to also use your brain.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you got to be creative. So when he tells me to do certain things, call this, it wasn't like, call this, let me get on. Dude, it was, okay, I pound the phone, I call, I talk to agents, I make the mistakes, what not to say, what to say, and then I just adjust and adapt. But as far as like guidance, like if more like, hey, you know what, dude, I'm stuck. Like, I did this and I'm stuck. And that, I think, to me, that's where I get the most value. Hey, I'm stuck. Get on the phone with him, shoot him a text message. He's able to respond back and tell me what to do. I have to go do it. And there's still mistakes that I made along the way, even if I have all the mentor and all the coaching. Like, just, you're still going to make mistakes.
Yep, you got to learn.
Right? But yeah.
All right. So this was around 2013, right? 2013,
Yep.
14. So did you immediately have success in the next 12 months, or how was that journey?
Yeah, so I was so my first deal, so we flew him out for 3 days. Within a week or so, got my first deal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was because I was making a ton of offer on the MLS. At that time, the MLS, there was some really good deal on there, pre-foreclosure, foreclosure property is all over there. So I just submit offer. So anything that pops up, we're submitting 40 to 50%. And then we got a response from a seller saying, dude, a realtor said, bro, you kidding me, dude? That price is ridiculous. But then they like, hey, but the seller's not going to accept that, but they would do this. And then now we're like, hey, we got someone there that's willing to talk to our stupid price here. So we're like, hey, we got something going on here. And then anyways, that was my first deal. And yeah, so within a week or so, got my first deal. I knew nothing about constructions. You were buying the flip. Correct. This was when I first got into real estate.
You weren't wholesaling yet.
No, I was not wholesaling yet. And I was, so we hire a contractor. I knew nothing about constructions. I remember my contractor saying, hey, you know what? There's some missing shingles. And Steve, I didn't want the contractor to take advantage of me, not knowing that I don't know anything. I said, bro, dude, listen, man, I'm having a hard time hearing you, bro. Why don't you take a picture and send it over to me? So he took a picture and sent it over to me. And then obviously from there, took us about 4 months or so to finish up that rehab project. And we made about 50,000 net, walk away, and changed the whole entire life.
That's awesome. You got something?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it says on here, someone posted 2 minutes ago, all static on your Twitter space, can't hear anything else. So I just wanted to let you and the team know, just in case.
All right.
Just sharing that.
Okay, they're working on it. So thank you, whoever tweeted that.
Yeah.
All right, so you flip your first house, make $50K.
Yep.
So this is real.
Yep.
How long were you still running your hair extensions before you shut that down to focus fully on flipping? Man,
Steve, such a good question. So I'm more of a risk taker versus Lon. Lon is very conservative. Like, before I quit my job, Steve, Lon wants the house to almost get paid off, and she wants to make sure she has a couple hundred G's in the bank before I even quit my job. So when we got into the first flip, like, we were still running the hair extension while after I flipped my fourth deal already. Now once I've done that, once the hair extension dude, Steve, couldn't make any more money, where Lon is coming out of pocket now, she said, okay, I'm done with this. But the thing is with Lon is she's very attached to that first business because it's like her baby.
Oh yeah.
It's like you gave up your baby, because we started that business when we were like 20. So for Lon to let go, it was so hard for her, and I remember her crying and didn't want to let go, but she just knew that it was time to let it go. Yeah. And
I could totally understand that, because we're closing this company next month, right? So our brokerage, we're shutting down, right? Like, we're partnering up with Ryan.
Yeah.
So we're shutting down our brokerage, and it's like, man, like, I still remember holding Vivian, who was just born when we launched Stunning Homes Realty. So yeah, it's an emotional. Actually, someone in our office like, hey, we should have like a shutting down party where we all just get drunk in the office. Like, that's not a terrible idea.
That's not a terrible idea.
Yeah. So all right. So you're doing deals, you get your closing.
Yep.
Are these all like 40, 50K flips, or like, how was your business looking?
Yeah, so my first flip went really well. Second flip did okay. And I think about 4 years or 4.5 years into the whole fix and flip game, I had about $1.5 million tied up, Steve, and I almost lost everything. I almost had to file bankrupt. It was so crazy, dude. I never knew what depression is, Steve. Never knew what depression is until I put myself in that situation. And let me tell you why I felt depressed. It's because I felt like I let Lon down. Like, I didn't want to, dude, like, my whole thing was just to make her happy and get her what she wants. And I felt like, man, like, Khang, like, what do you do? And sometimes you go so fast that you tie yourself in like a ball where you don't know how to get out. And I remember, man, this is crazy. Long was in Vietnam. I have to flew back to take care of all my construction thing and 4 nights, didn't sleep. Every single time when I get on the phone with Lon, I have to act like I was happy. Right when I get off the phone, Steve, I cry myself to sleep. Every night I get down on my knees and I pray to God because I couldn't see a way out. And I just pray, and I pray hard. And something inside me said, Khang, nothing is going to solve this problem. You have to get up and do it. You have to get up and face your fear. Even you have to go bankrupt. You don't have a choice. I got up, dude, and obviously make the phone call. I just figured one thing out, and thank God, everything just.
What was the situation you were in that was so bad?
I was trying to go too fast, too quick. If I was to give myself an advice to anyone that's starting out, I was trying to learn the whole business at the same time, Steve. I didn't have a system, didn't have a proper team in place. I was the one-man show, running everything, getting the deals, talking to contractor. And I didn't even know.
You're doing everything, and you still went to Vietnam.
Well, no. So we actually went to Vietnam. We actually took a break. And then I had to go back to finish it. It was just too much. So we kind of shut things down a little bit, went back, and then came back and did it. And I over-leveraged. I just tap out. I just couldn't leverage anymore. And the issue was I got 2 property that one of them needs to sell, but it couldn't sell because the guy that did the rehab messed the whole entire up. Did not get permit, did not pull permit, and the basement flood. So every single time when we try to sell it, I don't know why, it rained. So the basement keep on flooding. And the inspector came out and said, sorry, like, so 3 buyers back out of the deal. And that property, I was supposed to make 150 G's. And thank God, I still walk away and made about 2,000 on it.
Yeah.
But it was, so we need a property to sell, and the whole mess with that property needs to be resolved. But I couldn't get any more funds coming in.
So it's interesting you say that was the saddest you've been, because we haven't really talked about your upbringing.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't have the easiest life, or you didn't start off with the easiest life.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk real quick about your upbringing?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I was born in Vietnam, raised up in a mud hut, super poor. Like, for those of you who don't know what a mud hut is, like, every single time we get a big rainstorm, dude, my brother, my dad will go out there. We'll put clay, like, it's literally clay. We will, so super poor. When back in Vietnam, I didn't have any formal education. So back in Vietnam, for those of you who don't understand, for those of you who take America for granted, let me tell you, back in my country, you got to pay for education. So that's why Asian parents, they're very strict. Like, if you don't pass a test, here it's no big deal. But back in my country, every test was supposed to be paid. Like, you pay for these tests, and you got to pass to graduate to the next level. Like, you don't just show up to class and then get a D and then get up to the next one. So my family couldn't afford it. So I can speak my language, but I can't read or I can't write. But I came to America at the age of 9. And obviously, just like every other Asian parents wants you to, go to college, graduated, because, they want what's good for you. Because my parents don't want to see me as a labor worker, working at a factory like them until I'm 65 or whatnot. And I dropped out of high school when I was 17. And I remember my mom cry. My dad wanted to beat me up. And at the same time, I told my mom that school is just not for me. Like, I know that I'm a guy that can work. Like, I don't care if I have to go clean toilet, but I'd rather clean toilet than go to school. So I told my mom I have the work ethic. I'm okay to work from the bottom up. And anyway, somehow I met my wife at the age of 18, and boom, I connected with her. She's the same thing, high school dropout. And I said, dude, I can't live here anymore with my mom and dad like this. So Dude, I did what most Asians don't do. I went against everything my dad said. She's Buddha, I'm Catholic. We cooked together, move in with her, and we moved into this little shed behind a mobile home park. I didn't see my family for a very long time, 3 to 4 years, Steve. I didn't go home and see my mom and dad. And the whole time we put our head down, we just freaking hustle and we just grind like a mad dog. No vacation, no party, no drinking. We sacrifice everything. And Law and I choose to do that. We choose to sacrifice everything just to be free.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So at some point, you launched Wholesale to Millions.
Yes.
So I don't know who this guy is.
Yes.
So I've got my own podcast in 2018. And everyone's like, you got to get this WTM guy on. It's like, I don't know who the heck this guy is. I look at this guy and I see this maniac screaming at me on YouTube. And it reminded me very much of when I first heard about Gary Vee. It's like, have you seen this crazy guy has a wine show and all he does is yell at you on YouTube? Can you talk about that?
Yes. Yes. So I started my whole social media back about, I would say 5 years ago. And I heard Gary Vee. I was, at this time I got my wholesaling business rocking and rolling already. We got a team of VAs. We got system. We got a team in place. I was working maybe like 1 or 2 hours a day. And I was already kind of happy with what I'm making already. And I'm going to be super honest. It's extremely hard to like scale your wholesaling business up to pass that 6-figure. There's many people that have done it, but I was already happy. And I was like, dude, what else can I do? And to be honest, wholesaling is not something I'm passionate about, but I love teaching people, Steve and Dr. JPEG. I love teaching people. And I heard Gary Vee said, hey, you know what? Everyone should have social media, should put content, should do this. And he was telling how it will create multiple streams of income for you. Dude, there's something in me, dude. I was so excited, Steve. Couldn't wake up the next day. I woke up the next day, pick up my phone, and dude, I was battling for the drive down to the place where I was going to shoot my first social media clip, my first YouTube clip. I was like, dude, who am I? Who are you? Like, who are you to now teach people? Dude, there's Sean Terry. Like, there's all this big guru, big guy out there already. Like, who are you, man? And I was like, dude, but I was like, man, maybe there's someone out there that's just trying to get to my level. Like, they don't need to make $1 million bucks a month, but maybe they just need to make an extra 10, 20, 30, or 100 G's a month, and they should be good. I said, Khang, just put it out there. And yeah, that's where it all started. And, for those of you, maybe you watch it, you have to turn your volume down. But so when I'm in a space, when I'm in a space where I cannot be like if I can't let this voice go through, then it's really hard for me. It's really hard for me. So that's why when I shoot content, you guys see that I'm mostly in my car because I don't have an fancy office space like Steve Trang here.
It's actually kind of funny because I remember watching you do a video. I think it was on TikTok or Instagram, and you're at a hotel, right?
Yeah.
And I could see them screaming at you because you're yelling at your phone while they're all trying to sleep.
Yes. Yes. This happened in Vietnam, and yes, that's true. Completely true.
But you bribed them, right? That's how he fixed things.
I did. I did. Dude, I did. And I tell you, man, for those of you who don't believe me, man, money talks, bullshit walks. I literally didn't say anything, bro. I went up to them. I went up to them and I gave them like $10. In Vietnam, dude, $10 is what people make in a day. Like some people work 13, 14 hours a day just to make $10. So I went up there, slipped them $10. Dude, they said, do whatever you want, bro. So I go back screaming again.
Okay, so obviously had a lot of success, right?
Thanks, Steve.
At some point, you kind of changed your focus from actually, you know what? Before I step into that.
Sure.
You were talking to Ryan and me, and you were very upset with us that we were not on TikTok. What was that about?
Dude, bro, I mean, I even posted on my social media. I say, dude, if you guys are an influencer, if you guys are creating content and you're not on TikTok, man, you're missing out the biggest opportunity of your life. Just because I saw what happened to me. There's no way that you would make one video and post it on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube and wake up the next day and get like 500,000 view or 1 million view. And it happens to me, and I see you and Pineda, dude, like you guys have the knowledge, the info, and everything, and this is like the space that you guys can really blow up.
Yeah.
And not seeing that you guys doing that, it's just like, dude.
So I think what we're looking at, right? So you're over 3 million followers.
Yes.
Ryan just cracked 1 million.
Yeah, congrats, Pineda.
And I'm just sitting here just barely cracking 6 figures. So anyway, all right. So at some point you pivot though from what you're focused on
Yep.
to crypto.
Yep.
What started that?
Yes. So the whole crypto thing, like I'm no crypto expert, but I do believe that crypto will be the future currency as far as saying crypto will disrupt the bank like Uber, disrupt taxi like Amazon, disrupt the whole brick and mortar. I don't know when it's going to happen. So I invest about 600 G's into crypto.
Wow.
And it also took off where I went on TikTok and I said, hey, what crypto do you want me to buy? And those videos just took off, and now I have over 20-something different crypto. And but the one that I believe in the most that's not going to go anywhere is Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
And that's where a majority of my money's in. Yep.
So majority of funds are there.
Yep.
How are they doing? Because there's some interesting developments in the last few days.
Not very good. So if you saw my post on Instagram when I asked the wifey about how she likes the crypto market right now, yes, it's I think I'm down like half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right. You decided as well to launch an NFT project, and I still remember specifically. Right? It was me, you, and Ryan.
Yeah.
We're having dinner for Lon's birthday. So this is the same time we had this event here. I think it was less than a year ago.
Yep.
We had this event out here outside my office. And we went to dinner for Lon's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And you and Ryan were joking, like, man, if we just launch an NFT project, or we just launch an NFT, we're going to make so much freaking money. Because you guys were seeing like what like Logan Paul was making and so on.
Yeah.
How long from that point until you decided, you know what, I'm going to launch my own NFT project?
Man, gosh, I don't remember the exact time frame, Steve, but I think after what Gary Vee did, it really, really inspired me a lot. And what I love about NFT, dude, and for those of you who want to start one, it takes all your life. Like it's really consumed your whole entire life because you're really building a community. And that's what I love about NFT. I say, you build community, people that believe in you, invest in you, and then you're able to give back to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
you said it was all consuming. What is taking a majority of your time with the NFT?
I think, one, obviously, when it comes to launch date, you got to figure out the whole marketing size, building the community. Also, too, is figure out, the art. And listen, you're not going to be the one that's going to know how to do it all. Obviously, you got to build a team. But also, too, is the legal size. Right now, there's a lot of things that I want to do with my NFT project, but because of the legal side, I just want to keep it simple. And that's what consumes a lot, call with attorney, figuring out what you can and cannot say, what you can and cannot do. And, and people, Steve, talk about like, Dr. JPEG, talk about like rug pull. Dude, it's so easy to do a rug pull, man. Like, I wouldn't even need to spend like a month to pop an NFT project if I want to do a rug pull. Just make $1 million, call it, because I got the following, right? Sell this NFT for $300-400 a pop. Easy. It's a no-brainer. With my social media, it's just so easy to do a rug pull. If you want to create a legit NFT project, I'm telling you right now, if you want to start, it's not a 1, 2, 3, dude, it's a 10, 20, like it's like you got to talk about decades when you talk about this kind of game plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your plan for the NFT?
So I am launching NFT called TMC. Stand for the Millionaire Club. So what I'm doing is I'm blending NFT and real estate together to create a community of millionaires. I want to bring together some of the most driven and ambitious entrepreneur, right, on the planet that wants to learn building their own and helping them build their own real estate empire. And the goal is to help you become one of those millionaires. So it took me 10 years or so to build my whole entire real estate to where it is today. So I'm giving you access to my system, to my team, to my cash buyer network, to CG members, to private harmony lenders. Like I want TMC to be the central hub of real estate investing for Web 2 and Web 3 combined. Like my project is not to give you that $5 to $10 to $20 a day where you stake and you don't do anything. My project is about helping you making 10, 20, 30, 50, 100,000 a month. Helps you build your own real estate empire, and then you can take that money if you want to fix and flip. We also want to help you with that. You want to buy rental property, build passive income. We want to also help you with that. But that's what TMC is.
So what's the difference between doing something like this in Web3 with NFTs versus just standard kind of what's going on right now, like Web2, right? Like I said, I have a mentor. I agree with you.
Yep.
You took your process 10 years. You can distill it down to what was important, your processes, things like that. More than enough value in that. But why utilize Web3 technology versus just doing Web2?
Gotcha. So everything I mentioned happened on day one with the utilities getting access to my system, my teams, and all of that. So we also want to be able in the futures for our holders where they get to stay at my properties that I currently own, and anything that I own in the future that they get to come and just stay. We also want to be able. So for those of you, this thing I can and cannot say. So I just want to make sure I want to be transparent. I want to share everything. But I've been called out that I cannot say stuff.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the
so
stuff you want to keep under wraps.
Correct.
Well, it's not just that. I think the legalities. Like there's
sure.
so many things that we want to say that we can't.
Correct.
Until certain thresholds have been
Yes. So, there's things where I want to do for the community, for example, where we can come together and do business together.
Right.
So I'll just leave it at that. And also too is, let's just say, so for example, a mentorship. A regular mentorship program, let's just say you pay somebody, you join their mentorship program, you don't like it anymore, guess what? You're out. But with NFT,
right,
you can sell it.
100%. We talked about this, yeah.
Correct. So with NFT, you don't want it, or maybe you got enough knowledge because the past for 3 years, and maybe you got enough knowledge. You'd be like, hey, you know what? I'm done with the group. I got everything I needed. It's not for me anymore. I want to move out.
Right.
Boom. You can put that NFT, sell it. Hopefully you can make a profit from it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
So as far as staying in the properties, right?
Yes.
This is there's so many things in real estate that there's so many unanswered questions. So what have you figured out so far? Like, is that, is it a security? And this like, what? These are the things that are like, there's so many unanswered questions. So I'm curious what you found so far.
Correct. So far, anything that has to do with, and listen, for those of you who's watching this, I'm not no NFT expert. I'm here with Steve Trang and Dr. JPEG, probably like way more experience and knowledge than I am.
NFT celebrity, he didn't know that.
Yes, Dr. JPEG, NFT celebrity, everybody give him a round. But yeah, so anything that has to do with some kind of a profit or whatnot, like if they're making any kind of a gain or anything from owning your NFT or staying at a Web2, so I can't even say that they get to come to my Airbnb and stay for free.
What can you say?
Legally, you can. It's a gray area, but legally, if you're able to look at an NFT in a way where it's classified that it's not necessarily security, but art, right? This is something you purchase that would be a piece of art, and then with that there is utility, and then there's ways you can work around things where there's loopholes for whether it's security or not. Obviously, not financial advice, not business advice, but I think that's the beautiful thing that we're really leveraging with non-fungible arcade is, it's a conversation we had before we hopped on, right? Yep. So it's what's that, like, what can I do that's beneficial for the community, for the holders, but really, avoiding that gray area as much as you can, and doing the right thing for the community, but also legally staying within certain bounds. So that's the cool thing. If you talk to an attorney or that's familiar with the space a little bit more, they'll tell you there's certain things. There's people see like ERC 721 and all these contracts, and they think that is that's it. But you can actually go on and you can look at there's tons of different contracts. There's even contracts that governments can leverage and utilize where it's actually classified as soul-bound information. So things like your ID,
Yep.
right? I can't buy your ID from you. Like that's extremely illegal. Maybe we did that back in high school, but that was a different thing. You maybe got that from your buddy's older brother. But the point I'm making is there's a lot of different ways to go about it and structure it that really creates a unique opportunity to leverage that to avoid all the legal hoops and bounds you might have to go through. So
Yeah, I like as far as so there's things where Steve so you have to create your own token, all right, your own crypto where it can use within your ecosystems,
Yep.
but there's no value to it. You cannot say there's value to it.
right, that's the security.
There's no value to it. Like so there's things like I want to do where, I like the DAO. For those of you who don't know what a DAO is, man, I would love for one day that this can be possible. It's a decentralized autonomous organizations where a group of people, we just get together and then we pour our funds together and then we get to invest in Web 2, Web 3, whatever it is.
Right.
But right now with that's what I really wanted to do. But now we have to push that away towards something in the future where it's not as regulated. And also too is there's an offshore or onshore thing as well. So now we're taking okay, maybe I shouldn't say that.
Well, so we're also talking to Corey Butt, right?
Yep.
Scott Myers, right?
Yeah.
Who have also both been on this show, right? They're doing the real estate DAO, right? So have you been following that at all?
No, I have not.
Okay, so and then there's another person, Mike Watson. He's one of the CG members as well.
Yep.
So everyone we're talking about, right? This is a collective
Yep.
genius with us. He has when he raises money for an apartment complex.
Yep.
Everyone's a general partner, right? It's not GPLP. Like everyone's a general partner.
Okay.
And I think this is potentially the way we go from starting from going from a regular fund to an NFT fund, right? Because if everyone's a general partner, then everyone's taking risks. The thing that makes it a security is when you're a limited partner. So I'm just kind of curious to see, how much thought or how much you paid attention to that.
Yeah. So for us to make this happen, this has to be done in Canada. So we talked to an attorney, which I'm going to pay him like $29,000 to actually get this done for us. So for us to do this, it's not going to be called a DAO. It's going to be called a private investment group. That's only going to be 50 people only, and it's going to be held the corporate in Canada. And that's what makes whatever the DAO is that possible, where we get together, where we pull our funds together, and then we'll be able to invest together.
We have to vote together.
Correct.
That's the biggest thing.
Correct.
If you're taking notes, he paid $29K for that. So just send my man some money in your Venmo or
please.
something.
Just buy one of the
Just get you
TMC
free game.
Yeah, please.
something in the NFT TMC project.
Yeah.
So Dior asked the question here on Twitter. If we're not building a project currently, what would you be doing to best set yourself up for success in this bear market? If you're not a builder, what do you do right now in this bear market?
Yeah, that's interesting. I've seen doom and gloom before, and I think that the best thing you can do is look for builders and teams. This is where things really shine, and you're able to see through the BS and what's really possible, right? Because down markets force innovation, right? Like necessity is the mother of invention. So I think that to use an example. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what happened with Azuki, but Azuki was a large.
It's going down pretty fast.
Yeah, it's a large NFT project, and it's considered a blue chip. We talked about this last time, but blue chip meaning that it's like it's one of the projects to model your project off. Well, it turns out that Cool Cats, one of the founders, knows that the guy behind Azuki, he created 3 rug pull projects, meaning that created projects and then made a bunch of money and just left the project for dead, more or less. So they found out that he was a part of Azuki, and then the community was rightfully upset. But it's interesting because you see what happened here, you guys, is everyone decided they're not happy with that he was a rug puller, rightfully so. But what they did hurt the community. They let's sell off our bags, let's get out of this. And the only people that got hurt was the community. Ironically enough, the guy that they were so upset with made a bunch of money on royalties all the way down. So you sell it from mid-20s all the way down to 7. Like I understand.
The
right?
sentiment
But
makes sense.
If let's say Ferrari CEO gets indicted and he was doing embezzlement, you think everyone's going to go out and liquidate the Ferraris to the price of a Honda? No. They're like, yo, get that guy out of there. Let's handle this in a responsible way, because the reason is the value is not in. There is value. There's, it's not in just this singular guy that's part of this project, or the CEO of this company. The value is in the product, the Ferrari, the car. It was amusing.
Right.
So
The community, the alphas, one another.
yeah,
All that it's just dismissed entirely.
Yeah, so they should have protested. They should have stopped all sales, all trading, said we're not doing anything until this guy gets out, and they would have preserved their capital, would have preserved the project, but there was no value there. So, if I'm not building, I'm looking at what's valuable. I talked about my journey when I got in. Entertainment was really something I was interested in. So Theta was, they're really doing some innovative stuff. They brought on like Sony and a lot of big names. So I go to their site, I look at what they're doing. Veracity, they had a patent on really helping, fight fraudulent views to protect companies from losing marketing money. So I look for things that make actual legitimate sense instead of just hype. So I think that's where you can look and have your eureka moments. Or a year ago, we went through all this. If you look at the charts, we went through all this stuff a year ago. But lo and behold, Bored Ape Yacht Club came out, around this time last year. So it's not all doom and gloom. Like, check yourself, look at the things you have to be thankful for, look at the things that are going well in your life, maintain things outside of the markets, but like, be hopeful. Look for what's next. Look for the opportunity, because things ebb and flow. That's a guarantee, and you got to be ready.
Yeah, and Dior is the one of the ones I made a video about. This was like, he was talking about like a potential strategy is every quarter just selling everything you have, and starting over. And man, like everyone would have been in a good situation.
Yeah, if everyone gets so. What's the word? Everyone gets so excited because you're scrolling through Twitter and you see someone minted something for $7,000 and they sold it for $1 million 6 days later, and it's like, that needs to be me. But the reality is if you came into the market with $10,000 and you turned it into 20, and then you took that 20 and turned it into 40, you took that 40 into 80, and now you have $250,000 from 10K in 6 months because you set goals and you exited because you know that you're not going to get out on top every time. You're still up in a big way, but everyone wants the next home run, and they don't realize that those are once in a lifetime scenarios. They're not repeatable on every single
not only not repeatable, like how do you predict which one is going to go off? You don't know. You just got to keep going along, and every once in a while you get a big payday. You
can 2 to 5x every single time. You are,
if you're able to 2x every single one of your investments, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you can't go broke taking profits. So I think that's a big thing. But no, I if you're not investing, I think that there's a lot of opportunity. You just have to make sure that you have goals set and you're not just following what the market's doing and blindly following influencers.
Yeah. So on Instagram, PV Turkia, I'm totally butchering this name, shares that Neotok is running the show. So appreciate that.
What to do?
Maximo Khang inspired me to take action in real estate. So
let's go.
Rule.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
So follow question. That means everyone is KYC'd. So I don't know which part we were talking about. It was 5 minutes
ago. Real estate, maybe.
But is this maybe in context to yours, like looking up their background, making sure they're qualified? So are you doing a KYC on your on people that are investing in your project?
You mean as far as in like TMC NFT?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have an NFT Project Managers that takes care all of that for me, and that's AIM. And so she been taking care of all the back end and everything like that, getting everything scheduled. As for me, as far as in how much involvement I in with the project, it's like every single day I got to think of other ways, utilities, and perks that we can add to the project. And when, Dr. JPEG said, the people that are wanting to buy an NFT for 3,000 and flip it for like 100,000 or $1 million, like that's not like my project. My project is like, I want to teach you, help you build a high income skills and be a part of a community with like-minded people. So, the goal is to add so much value that you're going to diamond hand. And that's what we need. We need people who want to come into it to want to build a real estate empire for themselves. Not the one that's like, hey, I hope that I can buy Khang's NFT for like X amount and then flip it for like, and make 10, 20K.
Yeah.
Is AIM the one that's making the designs?
Yes.
Okay.
No, she actually have her own artist. And dude, that... our art, dude, it's going to be done I think by the end of next week, but it took us at least a few months because we made so many changes along the way. Because I wanted to, at first it started out like we're making the art where it's somewhat of a feature of real estate, like house looking like robot kind of, but then we changed a lot, but it took a while, but
I'm
we
still
do
waiting
have
for my one of one. That's the only reason why I'm asking.
Steve, no, I actually have your one of one already.
Okay.
So we'll be sending that over.
Here's something that we could potentially do that would be fun. Is to gamify it. Is have an NFT that would almost look like. Have you guys played The Sims? Remember that?
I'm familiar with it.
So The Sims is it's like you have like a virtual. It's an old PC game. It's like you can build your house and do all these things and your family. But you could have a piece of like land that was like an NFT, and it showed like this cool little like design for how to represent your real estate holding.
Nice.
And then you could update the metadata so they could purchase different things that would kind of go with that. So now you have this piece of land, because everyone likes to show off what they're doing in their investments, right? But I have this piece of land and maybe I have one property, but then I'm like, well, Khang, Steve told me he has three properties on his land. Let me get 2 more.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm like, hey, Steve, look at my NFT.
Steve, you got 3. I got 4.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it gamifies it in a fun way, but it's still investing. It's still an opportunity to make money, all of us together. And I think the sky's the limit. I'm really excited to see real estate and NFTs be married, because we spoke before the show, but there's a lot of opportunity.
Well, so let's talk about it, right? So like, sure. If Dr. JPEG was going to launch a real estate NFT today, what would that look like?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. It depends, because I want, I'm only about win-win scenarios, and that might sound silly, but you look at the market. I don't think you sell hype. You could benefit off that right now. Oh, we're the first real estate NFT. Well, what do you do? Well, we take your money and then we'll send you some money eventually down the line. There's a roadmap, right? Like we were talking about rug pull. Oh shit, the money disappeared. We don't know what happened. I think that for me, something that's particularly interesting we talked about is it's simplified, and maybe it's not only real estate, but being a broker where there's all these people with newfound crypto money. And like I said, they might be still living in their room at their parents' house or something, and they need to get out and they need to diversify. Well, I think if you had a brokerage where you have that community, and you can take Ethereum, you can figure out what coins you want to take, but I would say you can take Ethereum, and you can allow them to purchase homes with it, right? So you give me 250 Ethereum plus a 10% buffer. Well, 10% is better than 30% because you have to pay 30% taxes when you sell out to stables, and then when you move it to your bank. So you avoid that, and then also just like what people are doing in Puerto Rico, and then also where is it? There's another area, but people are able to actually buy homes with Ethereum. There's a lot of crypto people that are going there. So I think that if you can help solve the taxation issue, you can help bridge that gap where they don't they can avoid paying that tax, convert it, and on the back side of the business, you can also you can loan out Ethereum for cash. So this is the way you could go about it, and then staking it, proof of stake. It's deflationary. I think you can earn 6% right now. So those are ways to hedge against against market conditions. Right now would be a great time to be doing that because you can get a ton of Ethereum. We're here, and the hope is that we go up. But
I had no idea how bad Ethereum was doing, right? until this morning, or recording a video about Luna and Terra, and
Yeah.
holy cow.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you don't lose money until you pull money out of the market, right? I have friends that have gone from $20,000 to $3,000 Bitcoin and rode it all the way back up to, you know, 60K, and they're still holding their positions. Everyone thinks Michael Saylor is a maniac because while everyone's crying about the bleeding markets, he's putting more and more money in to show his belief in Bitcoin. So
Yeah, he had like a spaces earlier with like 7,000 people in there.
yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So I think that's one way I would do it. Another way that I would do it is, you know, we talked a little bit about what we could do, but I think leveraging it where if you don't have the experience, you don't have the capital today, paying an amount to get an investment started, but also on top of that, learn. So being in a Discord, if I'm in a Discord with you guys every single day, and I'm able to learn about real estate, but I'm also, you know, compounding a little bit of money because I'm a part of a project that is investing in real estate in ways that you guys know how to, and maybe I don't know how to. So it's stacking on top of that, right? I'm already earning as if I was, you know, had the same knowledge as you guys, but not on that level yet. But I'm also learning at the same time. So I would do a project where it's, you know, you can kind of dip your toes in the water. You know, again, if it's not for you, like we were talking about, I can sell it off. I paid $5,000 for it. I can sell it for $10,000 or whatever, because there's someone else that is hungry. They want to come in and they want to turn that $10,000 investment into a real estate empire. So that's the way that I would do it. I think there's a lot of other things you could do, but really gamifying it, I think, is what's going to set things apart. We all like to have fun. Like, creativity is important in life, and having fun is too. So I think that people are like, you better work hard. Well, yeah, we want to enjoy it, the fruits of our labor. So I think that, again, having updated metadata and things that I'm collecting, right? Like, you got your first home. I got my first home. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I mean, I can speak right now. Like, just imposters, right? Like, I got my UFO. Today we're minting pets. I don't even know what time. Maybe it happened already, right? I got to go mint my pets.
yeah,
right?
Okay.
you're excited. You're like, what is it?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have my land, right? So I think only thing I ask is when you get your land in the TMC,
Yes.
just let me be your next door neighbor. Like, whoever owns the essential land, or whichever one was with Snoop Dogg, right? If you're his neighbor, like, you're doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be your next door neighbor.
Well, that's the interesting thing too, because now you not only are you gamifying it, making it fun, but there's the land plots in Bored Ape Yacht Club. This is imaginary land, you guys. This isn't the three of us living next door to each other in real life so we can have barbecues. This is on our computer. But in the other side, the Bored Ape Yacht Club land metaverse, they have land plots. If you're closer to the center, where people are assuming, not knowing, but assuming that the closer you are to the center, the closer you are to the yacht club, there's a difference between people on the outside are paying 3 ETH, and then on the inside they're paying, you know, up to like $1 million.
Well, I mean, that's like the outer citizens.
Yeah.
And the Citadel.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's you don't know what exactly we're getting, and there's also in real life, right? Like, real estate downtown is just more expensive than real estate in the rural areas.
Yeah. But I think that's how I would leverage it. I definitely would add levels of gamification to it, and would look at, okay, well, what's needed? There's a lot of people that, you know, I know personally that have done really well in crypto, and, you know, potentially they could put their money somewhere else, but just hand that off, get a home, or, you know, also on the opposite side, flip side of the coin, there's people that don't have a lot of money yet, but they really have the ambitions and they need that help, and you know, that's even more exciting to me and inspiring. But
so when is you? I don't want to make you commit to a
Sure.
date, right? Because I've noticed with NFT projects that it's like an Elon Musk update. Like, eventually it'll happen.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So
the Roadster.
do you have?
Dude, that's a killer.
I was supposed to get that
looks
this
so
year.
sick.
Yeah.
Like, I got the wife signed off on the Roadster.
Wow, you'll be the most badass in the street.
I don't know about that, but I got the sign off, and now I don't even know when the Roadster's gonna get freaking done. Anyway, when is your project hopefully rolling out?
Yeah, so this project probably took us almost like 9 or 8 months or so since the time that we're like, okay, let's rock and roll. We're planning. We were going to launch in April. We're pushing back. Hopefully by the end of this month, we'll be able to launch it. So those of you in, follow me on Twitter or Discord, we'll make sure we'll keep you guys up to date. But Steve, here's something I would like you to ask Pineda. So imagine if having an event, and I think for NFT, what makes it valuable is obviously it comes down to it's exclusive. So everything that I mentioned earlier, I with Dr. JPEG said, hey, Khang, so why would someone pay this instead of why wouldn't someone just go to the regular mentorship route and not get into, instead of buying your the whole NFT? And I think it all comes down to it's exclusive. So let's just say, I'm doing a real estate event. So like how Gary V, and this ideas came from Gary V, right? Which is VCon, right? Where he do one big event once a year for those that has an NFT to come. So I'm committed to 3 years, one big event every single year for the NFT holder to come. But what about this? And I don't know if Pineda is going to do this, but well, you know what? What if the people can't come? Well, what if 3 months before we announce, right, the date, we're going to airdrop you an event pass. So let's just say if you can't go. If you can't go, you can rent out the event pass or you can sell the event pass on OpenSea to someone that wants to go, but you're still the original owner of the TMC NFT.
Yeah.
So, I mentioned earlier, like I went to a crypto staking event over the weekend, right?
Yep.
In order to go, you had to have the NFT for that event. On top of that, you need the NFT for the first event and the second event, but you can't buy the first event. So I had to pay 0.4 ETH to borrow the first one, right?
Yes.
So I'm into this for 2.1 ETH to attend this event.
Yep.
But the first one, I don't even own it. I only own the second and the third passes. So yeah, I think to your point that you could lease this.
Yes.
For
correct.
access.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So we're gonna airdrop you an event pass. If you can't go, you can sell it or you can lease it to someone, but you're still the original owner. You still get access to whatever it is. There's a lot of things that we want to do with the project. So because of the time here, I can only share so much. We're buying land in Decentraland and Sandbox already. Instead of telling someone, hey, you know what? Once we launch, here's a roadmap.
Yep.
But so our project is very community based when it comes to voting, right? So when Dr. JPEG said about the NFT, and I really want to bring this up because I really want people to understand that I'm building this NFT as a community project. For example, I'm willing to, for the royalties, gosh, I don't even know if I can say this. So for the royalties, I'm willing to go 50-50. So 50% goes, so typically the creator gets all the royalties, but I'm willing to split 50% goes into TMT treasuries, and then we can use that money. And now what we're going to do is I want to start getting people that's already having skin in the game, that's part of the community, that, hey, if the project succeed, right, then everybody wins, which means we're going to start hiring people that's inside of the community. You get paid for whatever it is that we decide to do. So, the next thing we want to do, and that's why I'm holding off of hiring a developer to develop out the land that we bought in Decentraland and Sandbox. Why don't we hire someone inside of the community, get them paid, they know what the project is about, and if the project does good, they do good. And, beside that, we want to hire people that are maybe, hey, where we grow so much, where we need to now hire what I call them TMC pro closer. So for people that have, that get into the real estate, but they don't know how to get on the phone, don't know how to talk, don't know how to negotiate. What if they got someone that's inside of the community, they send the lead to, and that person will get on the phone because they already been qualified. That person gets paid for their time. And then the deal gets locked up in a contract, right? And boom, we sell the deals, and maybe somehow that thing gets shared within. And, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I really want to do, for those who invest in me and believe in the project. I really, truly want to give back and to do beyond of whatever the utilities, the perks. For example, we're about to close on 2 big wholesale deal. One of them is going to make us, I think, right around like 150, and the other one we're going to do about 100,000. What if I close on 2 big wholesale deal? I'm just saying, not promising. What if we close on 2 big deal or we have a good month, and I say, hey, drop me your ETH address?
Yeah, you can do that on Twitter. I don't know if you want to do that on in your community, but yeah.
So that's just to name a few of the stuff that I would like to do.
And for the Web3 components, I'm super interested in chatting with you about that. So if you'd like, I'm happy to chat about connecting with people and advising. But I really like what you're doing because it's similar to what we're doing
Appreciate
in
it. Thank you.
non-fungible arcade, because you want to create an area where people can cultivate, and by being a part of this, you cultivate a community and they're able to benefit, right? So builders in non-fungible arcade, builders can come together in a builders chat. Hey, I'm good at marketing. Hey, I can, build games. Hey, I can, cover the legal. Hey, and now suddenly they're all working together and they have this newfound friendship and business, and they all change their lives. So I agree with you on that.
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We did have a question earlier. We didn't get the answer. Also Real asked, why Canada?
Why Canada? Because Canada is not as regulated as the US.
Really?
Yes. When it comes to security. As far as I know, that's where these guys are in Neo Tokyo was recommended. So we decided we chat with him. We chatted him on the phone. We also I booked like multiple call. I know that because we're talking about the whole DAO and things like that. And we booked a call with another attorney that was in like one of them is in New York, and the other ones was in like and the thing is, just like with wholesaling, if you talk to the wrong person, they say you can't do this, you can't do that, and things like that. But after everything, we decided this is the route that we're gonna go. And as far as from right now, going offshore, there's many of them. There's about 3 or 4 of them that you can do that will allow you to do what you want to do. That is less regulated. That doesn't get involved in the SEC. But for me, I think we're gonna choose Canada. But I think project that is you're taking like the real estates kind of come in with Web3 will probably have to go offshore. As far as I know, as long as
I'd love to hear Dr. JPEG's thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's, again, to relate it back to what we talked about before the show. I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice, but I think that similar that if I want to incorporate in Delaware, there's a website I can go to and pay someone to be the manager of that LLC, and because of that person, because of their association with the LLC, I'm legally able to be incorporated in Delaware. So I think that there's ways you can go around that, where from a legal standpoint, outside of the U.S., there's the laws are a lot more lenient around securities, and it's a lot more beneficial for you to have your business there from all standpoints. But I don't want to share too much. I would just say, talk to an attorney, make sure that you're you're sharing your thoughts around what you want to accomplish, and is it preserving capital from a standpoint that's more beneficial there? Is it, what are you trying to accomplish? I think if you start there and kind of work backwards, you'll be able to come up with the right place, but there is a lot of places.
Yeah. So, wrapping up.
Yep.
What did you wish you knew? Like you jumped into this project. You said it's been 9 months you've been doing this now?
8. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
What did you wish you knew before you started your project?
Well, I can say this, that I think anybody that are going to start an NFT project, I do want to let you know that it's definitely consuming. Like if you want to create like, a legit project where you're really about the community, making sure everybody wins, dude, it consumes a lot, because you got to think of ideas, you got to add, utilities, the perks, what is the holders going to get? And I think to me that's, and then you want to give them so much, but then you can't, because NFT is so new that anything you touch, anything that like we wanted to do where the treasury, we create a DAO, everyone invest in it. We will, and then it's going to be a voting system where we actually vote on where the money is going to go and invest, and the profit comes back. It will get split into each shareholders. The more skin you have in the game, the more percentage you get, etc. Like, not possible. So my thing is, I think you just got to understand that if you want to get into NFT and create your own NFT project, you just know that this is going to be a decade. Like, it's a 10 years plus game plan. So whatever it is that you got going on, if you're like, hey, Khang, I can't commit to 10 years, then just don't, because it is truly because you just got to continue adding value and value. Because to me, Steve, it's almost like as a creator, your NFT is like kind of like your own stocks, right? If people don't like it, they sell it, your stock crash. And guess what? Everybody else hurts. Like your one decisions and you stop adding value to it, boom. Like that's why I don't like office spaces, because now you got a lot of people that are depending on you, right, to make sure that this project is valuable and continue to maintain the floor price and increase in value, over time. So yeah.
So be ready to commit.
Yeah, if I were to give an advice, that's what I would say. You got to be ready to commit. Like this is a 10-year game plan plus. Yep.
You like the JPEG?
Yeah, I would say understand the reason why you want to do it. There's not everyone's gonna have a eureka moment, but I was sitting around when I started Non-Fungible Arcade, and I was like, I really enjoy gaming, and I really enjoy the income opportunities that I've had from the multiple projects that I'm in, and it was just kind of like, hey, why not do that? Because I want to create that feeling, that experience for other people. So figure out what it is you want to do, and then you need to study other projects. You should have, you ideally should have experience in business. You should ideally have experience in the market. Now I'd be like, hey, I want to turn $10 into $10 million, because that's just 100% not how it works. And then also be humble enough to realize you don't know everything, and you should be networking and looking for people that are experts at the things that you need help with. So smart contract developers, security, data, everything and anything. Like, you need to really realize that this isn't some get rich quick scheme. Like, I feel like unfortunately some people are making it look like from the outside, but it's actually a business. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna make just a couple quick announcements.
Sure.
And then think about what's like the final thoughts you want to leave everyone with.
Sure. Yeah.
Guys, if you get value today, please like, subscribe, share, comment. It really helps us reach more people. And if you like what we're doing here, or if you have any suggestions, please comment below, right? Like, this is a newer format, and we want to help as many people as possible. So, if just let us know, give us some advice. We're listening. We want to make this as best as possible for you guys. So what's some last thoughts you want to leave everyone with?
Man, Steve, all I gotta say, man, is that dreams don't work unless you do. And I think I think too many people now growing up like thinking that they want it easy. Like, it's not gonna come to you easy. Like, everything, like throughout my whole entire life, everything that I want, I gotta work, I gotta grind, I gotta hustle for it. It never came easy. All right. So for those that even you pay for coaching, for mentorship, whatever it is, you still gotta put in the work, my friend. And it's just dedication and commitment, and just keep on going.
Awesome.
That's it.
How can someone get a hold of you?
Yeah, so if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Real King Kong, and also too is on YouTube. It's just King Kong.
Yeah, and if they can't find you, it's just you're potentially suspended for just a minute.
Correct. I have been suspended multiple times on TikTok. So if you can't find me there you go. Just hang in there. I'll try to get the account back.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
He's created so much content on TikTok that every once in a while they'll find something old that they don't like.
And then they bet, yeah.
And someone wants to get a hold of you?
Yeah. I am Dr. JPEG _ on Twitter. That's the best place you can find me, and just sharing thoughts into closing. I think that success is figuring out how you can help others to help yourself, and realizing that the journey is, this sounds cliche, but the journey is really the important part. It's the special part, that it's not about the destination. It's about taking the steps and being in it every single day, and growing and learning from that. And I think that that's a huge part of it. So if you're looking around and you don't feel motivated, inspired by that, keep looking until you find something that you authentically feel good about. And you have good days, you have bad days. Nothing is perfect, but find what drives you and go after it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Especially right now, there are good days and bad days, right?
Yeah.
It's a crazy market right now. I think that you need such an iron stomach to withstand the ups and downs of this space.
Yeah, you have to have things going on that you're again, you're paying attention to and you're grateful for and working on outside of staring at charts and reading people's doom and gloom posts all day. So
yeah,
get some fresh air.
Well, before Steve, I want to say thank you so much, Steve, Dr. JPEG, for having me on here, man. It's such an honor to be sitting here because I know there's many idols, right? Great superstar have sat here. So, dude, truly honored. Thank you so much.
Man, it's been like, I think 2 or 3 years in waiting. I was begging you to come down. I was like, I will take you to Scottsdale Fashion Square and buy you a vest. Right? And that's what it takes to get you down here. Awesome. Thank you,
Steve. Thank
Mr.
you so
Khang.
much. Thank you.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
JPEG. Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
Shout out to Steve Trang. Jump on the Steve Trang. We real estate disruptors.